I don't feel like I have many unpopular opinions. I feel like I do like a lot of mainstream stuff. I mean, there's plenty of stuff that I like that I try to find unique things. But still, like, a lot of times I have difficulty thinking of when somebody's like stated an unpopular opinion. It's difficult for me. But I've thought of one. Um, I don't like jump scares usually, and horror movies, especially these days, are full of them. I like the older stuff a lot of the times. I like slow burn. I like slow burn scares and like lingering scares. Just when like it's sort of like a scary world that you're in, that you're just like immersed in. You know, like when everything just looks and feel. You just got this unsettling, like you're just in like a weird world or something. Just like or like psychological horror. Just like I say like all the time. I've noticed that for a long time, but it's difficult for me to find other words sometimes to fill in. Anyway, yeah, I find jump scares to be pretty cheap, and they're all over the place. And like every horror, it's like, oh, here's something that just pops out really quick. Oh, it scared me. I hate that type of thing, especially with anxiety and stuff. Anyway, I'd rather see something that is just horrific, not gory necessarily. I don't really like gore either. I'm fine with seeing fake brains and blood and stuff. But when it comes to like intestines, stomach stuff, I have this like sort of like empathy sort of thing where it's like if somebody gets like anything in the guts, like I feel it in my guts. Like I can it's like my brain tries to recreate it for myself, so it like hurts and it makes me feel sick. Anything with intestines is like a no for me. It's I mean, I've seen stuff. Sometimes it's like all right, like it's like somebody gets cut in half or something. It's not that big of a deal, but like sometimes, like if they're just really like ripping out intestines and stuff, it's like oh, it's the worst. I hate it. But yeah, jump scares and gore, I'm not super into. I like just like like you know what freaks me out? This is actually in a million things too, but the all black eyes when they have the contacts in are just like a really pale, like emaciated figure with all black eyes. Like that's pretty good. That's like you sort of think of like a lot of there are a lot of things with that, or all white eyes for that matter. There's a lot you can do with makeup and effects, and that's when I do like I appreciate gore in that way because like special effects, there's some really cool practical effects back in the day. Just like thinking about like how they did this shit is really cool. It's just sometimes it bothers me, and I think it can be a little cheap to use like all the body funk and everything. It's like sometimes it's just an easy way to make it over the top and gross and everything. I feel like there are just like more meticulous, weird ways to make something like horrific and like I can't explain them, but just like when, like I said, the world that it's in, or just like how the characters act and look and everything, it can be, you know, make all the difference. Anyway, yeah, that's my one unpopular opinion. Oh, here's another two I actually thought of yesterday. I prefer Dragon Ball over Dragon Ball Z, the anime series. I haven't read any of the manga for any of that. I'm sure that's a lot. There's so many volumes, I'm sure. But anyway, the first one, I find it to be so fun. The adventure is just like, and it's just so goofy and whimsical and like perverted and great. And like Dragon Ball Z is great, but I feel like there are so many episodes that are just so like it's just the same fight for like 10 episodes, and it's cool and I love to see them progress and get stronger and everything. It's I mean it's a simple formula, right? That stuff a really unpopular opinion. I actually somewhat enjoy Dragon Ball GT. I know it's not the same people, it's not canon, it's just like its own thing. It's kind of like fan fiction. But I think it's fun. Like I think Pan and her friends, like it's a really just enjoy. It's kind of like Dragon Ball. It's just like adventurous and like they're going all over the place and seeing different things. I don't think it's as good as Dragon Ball, but you know, I still think it's enjoyable in its own little way. But yeah, the big one, I just every horror movie seems to have jump scares, like these days especially, like I said. And I'd like to see more slow burn, lingering, spooky, psychological, like weird, scary world stuff. Like honestly, a good example that I really enjoyed. Oh yeah, I need to use those words: gloomy, otherworldly, atmospheric horror. You know, just like when like it puts you in this mood where it's like this is so gloomy and dark and sort of you are just like detached from reality and everything. I really liked Nosferatu. However, I don't know if it's Nosferatu or Nosferatu. I've heard both. I like to say Nosferatu sometimes, but whatever it is, I like the original. Like it's like one of the first. It's like the first vampire movie ever from like Germany or whatever. But I also like I think it's 1979. I really like that. I actually ordered the soundtrack recently. Is it Popol? Popol? I don't know how to Popol. I don't know how to pronounce his name. He does some really good stuff, and that soundtrack really helps the movie too. It's just this like really, it's like serene. It's not even really that scary. It's just gloomy, and like it just puts you in this place, this other world, and it just feels. I mean, it's not like it's actually literally another world. It's Earth, but it's just there's something about like gloomy. I like fall vibes. I love autumn time. I love gloomy, spooky stuff. Spooky and scary are different to me. You can have like this vibe to it. It's I'm not good with words in this way. I like to use those words too, especially for different music. I like some like retro scary synth music, like John Carpenter and different things like that. Umberto, Survive, different things. I just have a playlist called Those Vibes. Like sometimes it's just that's all there is to it. It's just like it's vibes. It's whatever it is. Just the feelings that you get from certain artwork that makes you feel good. Anyway, yeah, I'm not big on jump scares. Anyway, I love you all. Let me know. Let me know what you think about different horror and how you feel. What do you think of gore and jump scares and things? You know what? I like a lot of monster effects over gore. I just like to see the cool monsters that they can make and everything. Fucking, you'll see. Another cool action figure coming in. Well, I've got a few, but the only horror one left is my favorite horror villain. Really cool. And then there's a lot of cool stuff in those worlds from that author / director, whatever, writer. Anyway, I love you all. Have good times. Take care of yourself when you're able to.